Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. How are you? My name is Lori Hart. For those who don't know me, I'm coming to you live from Boston, Massachusetts, where I just mentioned that the weather has been really warm and beautiful all week, and today we had a little bit of rain, but that's okay. Uh, I guess it's spring showers bring May flowers, right? We are in April, and I can't believe it's almost the end of April here, mid-April. So you guys are on this call tonight because we are going to talk a little bit about what it's like, right? You maybe been drinking ketones, maybe you haven't been drinking ketones, maybe a friend of yours just said, hey, you got to get on this call tonight. They're going to talk about some really cool things. We are going to do that. We're not going to talk so much about our product. We're going to talk more about what it's like to be a promoter and what it's like to join us in our community, because that's really what we are all about, is our community, and just helping people become a better version of themselves. So I'm Lori. I am a mom of two daughters. I have a daughter, Callie, that's going to be 27 in August, and a daughter, Ava, who will be 20. I can't even believe this, in June. And I have a grandson named Leo, who I've been lucky enough to have all day today at my home because I get to do this from home. I get to do this promoting from home, and I love, love, love what we're doing. So whoever invited you here tonight is really excited for you to hear something pretty cool, pretty unique, pretty different, pretty disruptive. We have something that most people don't have. And we want to tell you why it's so special. Why is it different? Why are we different from other companies that you may have heard of or that you know out there? So before we get going, I'm going to actually have two of my friends who have been doing this alongside me. I've been here at Pruvit now for 3.5 years, sharing and promoting. Before I was a promoter with Pruvit, I was a hairdresser for 30 years, you guys. And I was always looking for some type of a side business, because when you're a hairdresser, and you're standing behind the chair long hours, you don't get paid when you're sick. You don't get paid when you take off a week. You don't get paid if your child is sick and you have to call out. You don't get paid unless you're standing behind that chair, trading time for money. We often don't have retirement funds. We often don't have medical insurance. We often don't have those things that you need. Is it flexible? Yes, but it's also back-breaking work. I've had back surgeries, and it's funny because people would always say to me things like, that must be so fun getting to do people's hair all day long. It is fun. I love it. I've met some of my best friends doing it, but there's such a thing as a burnout. So anyways, I am so glad that I've always been open to this style of business. And when I found our product, I really needed it at the time for the energy and the sleep and the mood and all the things. So I'm so grateful that I've been able to be here now for 3.5 years, building a business from the bottom up, right? One brick at a time, one day at a time. So I'm going to bring a couple of my friends on tonight that also have a unique story. And they're just going to share with you a little bit about the business. So I'm going to first bring on my friend, Jessica Perry. Jessica, are you out there?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Jessica, can you
Awesome.
can you tell us who you are, where you're coming in from, and just a little bit about why you love promoting and being a promoter here at Prove It?
Absolutely. So I'm Jessica Perry, you guys. I've been with Pruvit, drinking and sharing ketones for 9 months. I kind of just jumped right into the business. I've been in this style of business before. Let me go back. I am a burnt out retail manager of 25 years. So I'm used to working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, not getting paid extra for overtime, like craziness. And I was burnt out and tired of trading time for money, and I knew something more was for me. So I started in this style of business a couple years ago, about 3 years ago now. 4 years ago now. So I'd been with a couple of other companies, and when I had met Lori, I just knew something was different about her, and I could see her energy. And that was something that I wanted because I'd been struggling, really having belief in the product and belief in how we make a difference in people's life and impact people. So when I met Lori, I knew there was something different here. So for me, being with this company I've grown more in the past 9 months with this company, self-development wise, as a person. I've gotten more friends. I've just really opened up the possibilities for me being here. So I personally love the community and the personal development, and the product. I was going from 6 supplements down to one instead of something for everything I was feeling, like one for energy, one for mood, one for fat loss. I take one product now, drink one product, and I feel amazing. And that's the biggest change I've noticed, is that I have time for my daughter. I feel like a better mom. I'm more patient. On so many aspects, it's helped me realize what's possible for my life. I've moved from New Jersey to Florida, and my aim is to do this full time. It started from something that was kind of just an extra side gig, and let's see where it goes. And my passion has grown into doing this full time and helping as many people as I can just feel good every day. Because as I've gotten older, I realize that my health is a priority and I want to do something about it before something happens. I would rather be preventative. And so just feeling the way that I feel every day, it's just something I love sharing with other people.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much. So a couple things that Jessica said, which I really love, is that she got to move from New York to Florida, right? So one of the cool parts about this business is that you truly get to do it anywhere in the world. You get to do it if you're at the beach, you get to do it if you're in the city, you get to do it if you're at a restaurant, you get to do it during your day job. Like you get to meet people everywhere you go. And that's part of what we do. We build community. So and again, like I said in the beginning, it's just brick by brick by brick, asking people if they're open and interested. And if they are, awesome. So thank you so much for sharing your story. Jessica has a daughter and she's really excited to be able to do this full time so that she is home with her after school and all the things. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
My next friend that I would like to see on, do I see you, Sarah? Is Sarah almost on? Yes, there you
I'm
are.
here.
Hey girl, how are you?
I am so good. I am so excited to share my story. So, hello everyone. My name is Sarah Ramos. I am from Boise, Idaho. I have been drinking and sharing ketones for almost 8 years now. I found ketones July 2016. Prior to ketones, I was a seventh grade math teacher. Teachers in Idaho don't get paid anything. So I was coaching two sports after school. I was waitressing on Sundays and I was catering weddings on Saturdays. My husband and I, we never got to see each other. We just saw each other in passing. And honestly, I didn't marry my best friend, like not to be able to see him. And so in 2016, he said, go find something that brings you more fulfillment and more time. Within 30 days of leaving my teaching career, I found Pruvit, I found ketones, and it has been life changing for us. Like I looked into what ketones could do for people beyond the fat loss, and I knew it was my vehicle to help people at a really, really high level. And the fact that you can get paid to do something that you love, I caught the vision super fast, and I was able to bring my husband home after 10 months full time. So we've been able to start a family. We didn't think starting a family was in the cards for us. I truly don't know how people can go to work all day long and pour their heart and their soul into their career and then come home and have anything left for the most important thing ever, which is their child. So we counted it out. And I'll just tell you, like, being able to see the first with your baby, with your husband, like the first steps, the first words, like everything together, you're not having to record for the other person. And in the process of that, being able to collect stories on how ketones have completely shifted the future of so many, it has me so excited just to be on this journey and to be able to continue to share. I just got back from Chicago and we were in different wellness centers and different clinics sharing ketones, and I got to hear stories that like relit my soul to share at even a higher level because it's what people are searching for. I promise everyone should be drinking ketones. Most people need our community, and there's people that need this business opportunity like I did. And so I'm forever grateful for Pruvit. So thank you, Lori, for letting me share.
Thank you. And you know what's really cool about Sarah's story? So I met Sarah 3.5 years ago when I joined Pruvit, and um, Sarah was a math teacher and then she went into waitressing and somebody saw a sparkle in her eye and knew that she'd be really good at doing this. But I got to spend a week in the Bahamas with her daughter, Indy, because we earned a trip through our company. So our company also offers rewards. We're very family oriented. So she got to bring her husband, who she's retired, and her baby to the Bahamas. And we got to spend a few days together having a great time. So thank you so much for sharing. I love that you took a chance on yourself and that you and Victor are now like totally home with the baby and all. And the cool thing here is I'm feeling the same way in a way, because years ago when I had a side something, I always looked at it as a hobby. I was never very serious about it. So it would always really be a side gig. Now, today I got to spend the day with my grandson while my daughter was at work. So if you're at the end of like not at the end of your life, I'm not at the end of my life, but if you're midlife like me, like a nanopreneur here, and I get to watch my grandson possibly take his first steps, and be the one that gets to be home for him. So I love that. So thank you so much, girls, for sharing. I appreciate both of you so much and love being able to work with you both. I'm going to actually bring my friend Nick on, and we're going to do a little back and forth banter on really why I told you in the beginning, this was a unique opportunity. It was a special opportunity, something really different. And we're going to kind of go back and forth. So I'm going to have my friend Nick come off of his speaker if he can, and share a little bit with me. Some
What's
questions.
happening? How's it going?
Going good, going great.
Good to see all your faces. My name is Nick Martinez. I'm from Minnesota. I've been drinking and sharing ketones now for 8 years. I used to be an airline pilot with Delta, and I actually got a call one day from a flight attendant asking me what I knew about ketones and ketosis. At the time, I didn't know anything. She was adamant, though, that this was going to change the world. It was going to revolutionize the way that I felt, and we were going to create a massive business together, have a bunch of fun, and help a ton of people. At the time, I was skeptical. I didn't know what ketones or ketosis even was. I was not looking for a side business. My wife was pregnant at the time. We had a 2-year-old. She worked 50, 60 hours a week for a web development company. I was a full-time pilot, and we had a drone photography business on the side. So we were not looking for anything extra. But there was something about her confidence, her certainty, her excitement about ketones and what she had her hands on and what we were going to do that just got me into this space of like, well, what if this stuff actually works? What if it actually does what she says it will do? Like, what could be possible? Well, that was 8 years ago. I initially just started sharing it with people around me, right? I didn't have a social media presence. I wasn't somebody that had a large network, but I did go to a job where people were tired, go to a job where people were eating junk, right? Traveling all the time, eating junk on the road. I went to a job where people needed to just feel better and be able to focus more. And so I just started to share it in the cockpit. I started to share it with flight attendants I was working with. I started to share it with my neighbors when I was home or friends from the past. And before I knew it, at the airline, I had become like the keto crack dealer. And I was going to fly airplanes. People were asking me for my white magical powder. I would deliver it in their V files when they were not flying. They would drop envelopes of cash into mine. And it got to a point where I realized like there's some really good potential here. And it actually got to the point where I didn't have to fly airplanes anymore. So here we are 8 years later, and our goal is to help as many people, number one, experience the benefits of ketones. So we've talked about that a little bit tonight, but if you're not yet drinking them and you're not familiar, just know this. There haven't been that many like just insane breakthroughs in health over like my lifetime, maybe your lifetime, but there've been a few. Right? Penicillin is probably one I can think of that's like been pretty life-changing. Insulin is another. And now, like honestly, ketones is right up there with those, if not even more impactful. So if you think about what we have our hands on, if you're not yet drinking it, whoever shared this with you, get some ketones. Like however you have to get them in your hands, whether you get a trial pack, whether you go on their website and buy a box, or just jump in as a promoter. Start drinking ketones today. And I say this a lot recently, but the number one thing that ketones do is fuel your brain. And the number one thing that's challenged to get energy as you age is your brain. And the number one thing that you can do to age better, aside from maintain muscle, which ketones help with, is honestly fuel this thing between your ears. Because if you do that, you'll have cognitive function into your older years, into your golden years, and the functions of your body will stay strong. And it starts up here. So my parents who are in their 70s now have been drinking it for 8 years. I'm watching them age backwards. I'm watching them do more in their 70s than they did in their 50s. And I'm watching them play with their grandkids. And I'm sharing that with you because of the significance of what we have our hands on makes what we're going to talk about here, just which is the business side of it, makes it real, makes it something that's special, makes it something that you're going to want to look into. I got lucky in that my flight attendant friend was right. Back then, we didn't have all the science, like hadn't been done yet. The research hadn't been done, didn't have all of the thousands of testimonials of people that have lost hundreds of pounds, people that have added tons of muscle, people that have like just changed their complete physiology, their complete state of mind. We hadn't had that yet. I went on faith that she knew what she was talking about. And She was right. Now we have it. We know this is the biggest breakthrough, and we, as a community, as individuals, get to benefit from helping people with this. So, Lori, I know you have some questions. I'll quit yapping, but I just kind of wanted to share that.
No, I love that. Thank you so much. And it's so true because most people that you're going to talk to are going to say, well, what are ketones? I've never heard of them before, which really makes this business quite unique and easy to talk about because it's a product that everybody needs. Men, women, and children can drink it from various different things: energy, focus, fat loss, mood, sleep, so many different things. So speaking on the promoter end though, keeping to the call, Nick, question for you. What do you say to somebody who might say to you, I'm just not a salesperson. I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to, be spammy and salesy to my friends. I don't know how to be.
That's a
What would
great
you say?
question. And if you're on here right now and you're like, hey, I'm looking for a business, I'm talking to you. If you're on here right now and you're like, hey, I just want to share this and maybe get my product costs covered, maybe I'll make a few extra dollars. I'm skeptical. I don't really know. We all do the same thing, regardless of if you want to make $100,000 a year or more doing this, or you just want to make money to cover some groceries or cover your ketones. What we do is share our experience, share the experiences of others, and we sort and sift and find people that are looking for better. So if you're not a salesperson, great. I would rather a teacher, a nurse, than the best car salesman out there. Why?
Yeah.
The car salesman may have all the tactics, may have all the confidence, may have all the right words, but the nurse, the teacher, the social worker, the mom is going to have the ability to communicate, to educate, to inspire, and to share, and then ask people, hey, are you ready to get started? Hey, is this something you're interested in? So we do not teach sales tactics. I don't believe that that's necessary for this, but we do teach how to have conversations, how to create curiosity, how to utilize tools and resources and people and videos that we have that explain the product, and then just how to help people get started and how to help people have a great experience with our products.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. We're not looking for high level sales sales pushers. Another question, what do you say to somebody who's just like, I just can't figure out the computer. I'm not techie. Help.
I mean, that's great. Like, the neat thing is we have promoters that have had tons of success who are in their 20s and 30s, and we also have promoters that have had tons of success who are in their 70s. I'm sure
Yeah.
even some in their 80s. And it's isn't a age related or a tech related thing. There's definitely tools that you can use technology wise, but at the end of the day, if you can open your mouth and have a conversation, and you can get somebody to a website, obviously there's some computer involved, but if you can get somebody to a website to learn more about the product and to place an order, it's an amazing business. And everybody I know these days has a cell phone. As long as you can text, as long as you can call, as long as you can use the internet, you're good to go. And a lot of those skills you start to learn. And what's neat is the more that you do this, the more you start to build that muscle and more confidence you gain. And it just expands from there. But everything that we do is, I would say if my 8-year-old can do it, then it's part of this business. And you know what? My 8-year-old can do pretty much all the stuff that we're talking about.
Right. Awesome. I love that. What about if somebody was to say to you, I just don't have many friends right now. Like I don't know too many people. I don't have a large network. You're saying, just ask people, ask them, be curious. So who would we talk to? Who would they talk to?
That's a great question. This is a business of people, right? So some people start with a large network and they're able to go and share with them right away, and it creates great business, creates great opportunity. Some people start with very few small network, and there's no right or wrong, because at the end of the day, it isn't about what you have currently, it's about the direction that you're going, and you get to determine that. When I get started in this style of business, I literally had like my 5 pilot friends. I had to learn how to talk to people. And guess what? I learned and I had conversations. So there are so many people out there right now who do not know about this. As a promoter, what we teach you how to do is just get in front of people, whether that be via social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or whether that be in person, putting yourself in positions where you're around people. Maybe it's at a sporting events. Maybe it's at kids like Little League. Maybe it's at your kid's school. Maybe it's at the salon, maybe it's at the grocery store. there's a lot of humans on this planet, and they're all looking for energy. They're looking to feel better. They're 25 cars deep in the line at Starbucks, about ready to pay $6 or $7 for their grande, caramel macchiato frappuccino or whatever it's called. And they're just doing that because they get that quick hit of I feel good, and this brings me happiness, and this puts a smile on my face and gives me some energy.
Right.
Ketones do all that and then some.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you were a pilot, you say you had a child when you got started. Both Sarah and Jessica are moms, both working busy, crazy hours. Do you need to quit your job to do this, or like how do you fit this in? How do you fit it in the beginning?
So the best part about this style of business is that it can be built in the nooks and crannies of your day. As a pilot, early on, I realized I was also entrepreneurial. I wanted something on the side, but it was very difficult to find something that was flexible enough, that didn't require a certain amount of my time to allow me to actually, and would allow me to actually build a real income through it. There's a lot of like part-time, like hourly little things. I looked at becoming a census worker once. I looked at doing some different businesses, but what I found is there was just nothing that would provide the flexibility and allow me to still fly airplanes.
Yeah.
And this business was built so that I could literally do it in the nooks and crannies of my day. I had land and I had 20 minutes. I could send out some messages. I could make a post on Facebook. I could follow up with some friends. Then we took off again. And then I had 5 minutes in between something. I could do a little bit there. Then I might have some extra time on the weekends or when I was home where I could put a little bit more focused effort into it. But it's one of those things, if you can give it some focus and attention in the nooks and crannies of your day, you can absolutely have success here.
That's awesome. I love that you're a pilot and somebody reached out to you, right? Because probably look at a pilot and say, oh, he's got a pretty good job, so he must be making some really good money. So what is the income potential with something like this? What can somebody make when they join a business like this?
That's a great question. And I get that one a lot. The neat thing about this is it's your business. It's you're in control. So whereas most jobs or opportunities, like part-time side gigs, you know exactly what you're going to make for the hour that you spend, and that's what you're going to get. It's got a very small range, right? With this business, you get paid for the value that you bring to the community. What do I mean by that? Well, the more people that you impact with ketones, the more that you get paid. So the neat thing is that when you have a customer that orders ketones through your website, you get paid, right? And you get paid a percentage per box, ends up being about 20% per box. And then as they order again the next month, you get paid again. So I have customers that are still ordering from 2015, pilots that I have not talked to for over 5 years, who are ordering on a monthly basis, and I get $15, $20, $30 every time that they order, which is really, really cool. I call it, that's kind of residual or reoccurring income. The neat thing with this also is it can go beyond that, right? So we have people in their first month, they're earning $1,000. We have people in their first month who are earning $2,000. We also have people in their first month who have earned $0. So I'll just put that out there. If you do nothing, you will not you will not earn money. It's not a sign up and all of a sudden you're just getting paid. But at the same time, it's a put in the effort, share this with people, introduce it to people, and there's a great opportunity to earn income.
I love that. That's like almost like you're a rock star, like you're getting paid each time your song's played. Pretty cool, right? So how would somebody get started if they're ready to go? They're like, you know what? I've been drinking these things. I love them. I have been telling some friends, sharing my coupon codes, things like that, but I'm ready to get paid. I want to make this something. What's the best way to get started?
The best way to join us is with one of our promoter packs. We have 2 promoter packs that I recommend. One is called the Max Pack. One is called the Mega Pack. The purpose of those packs is to get you ketones to drink yourself if you're not drinking them. Hopefully you already are. And then more importantly, ketones to get into people's hands. And we teach you, it's always okay to give somebody a pack to try. It's always okay, your friends over here, drink this, I'll share it with you. But what we want to do is teach you how to sell samples so that people can get a taste, get excited about it, and then go to your website and order full boxes. Because what I found when I was flying is the guys wanted to try it, and they wanted to try it like as soon as possible. So I would have 5 or 10 in my bag, and I'm like, well, I got some extra in my bag. Do you want them? They hand me $40. I give them 5 servings. They drink them, and next thing you know, they're like, how do I get more? I don't want to run out. I'm like, well, here's my website. Let's get you a couple boxes ordered so that they're, there before the trip's over.
Yeah.
So the purpose of our promoter packs is to give you inventory, not to sell as maybe the Mary Kay kind of concept where you buy wholesale, sell retail, but more to sell as samples. Think of those as your worker bees that are going out, getting people a taste, getting people hooked on this white magical powder, which is good and healthy and legal. And then they're going to your website and then ordering from there. So I'm going to share my screen really quick, just so you have an idea of what these packs look like
Perfect.
and how to get started with them. Basically, we have a couple different ones. The ones that I'm going to recommend are our Max Trial Builder Pack or our Mega Trial Builder Pack. And oops, this is not the website I was looking to go to. Pruvit.com. There we go. Be a newer looking graphic. Same thing, Max Pack or Mega Pack. So this Max Trial Builder Pack comes with 6 boxes of ketones. It's $558. You're getting 30% off of our retail price. Our promoter membership is $49 annually. That's just a one-time fee that you pay each year. And then the other one I'm going to recommend is over here. It's called the Mega, and it comes with 12 boxes. It's $1,000 and you get 240 servings. Now, if you're looking at these prices, you're like, I don't know. I don't want to invest that much money. I don't want you to look at it this way. I want you to look at it as this is the cost of your starting kind of product, but the goal is to sell through that as soon as possible. And if you're working with me and you're a promoter and you're following our system, following our steps, you're already sold through this box in the first week or the first 2 weeks, and you've got $920 back from just selling these as trial packs. Or if you do the Mega, it's $1,920 that you've gotten back as a result of selling the trial packs. So if money's an issue, I was just talking to somebody today and it just wasn't the right, they just didn't have the funds. I'm like, well, can you pre-sell some? Do you have a few friends that might be ready now? And they're already oh yeah, I've got this person, this person, this person. So they're going to order this before they even have to pay their credit card. They're going to have, 5, 10, 15. They're going to have the cost of their box already covered because they've sold half of the product already. So that's the purpose of the initial product. You're going to make profit there. That's not really where we're trying to make our profit. Those people are going to go order through your website. We have bonuses. We have different things that you can earn right when you get started. But those are the 2 different options, the Max Pack and the Mega Pack.
Wow, that makes so much sense. I love that too, because think about what you said earlier, that you could make $500 a month, $0, 2,000, 25,000, it's $49 a year to have a whole business, right? That essentially does everything for you. You've got your office, they're shipping out your ketones, they're packaging your ketones, making your ketones. So there's really nowhere you could ever go to have a business, honestly, and start up for under $1,000 or right around $1,000 and have the potential to be flexible, to be your own boss, and to make whatever it is you want to make. So thank you so much for sharing, Nick. I want to thank you all, first of all, for coming on. I'm sure people are thinking now, their wheels are turning. They're like, I could probably do this. I do know some friends. I love that idea of pre-selling some. That's a great idea. Before your credit card even comes, we can teach you how to get that paid off. But the thing that I want you to do is get back to the person that invited you. That's the most important step. And just say to them, hey, listen, I have some questions. Write them down on a piece of paper and let's get your questions answered for you. But don't sleep on it another month, another 2 months, another 3 months, because time is flying. We're already almost into May. Half the year is over. People have already ready to, they've already done their New Year's resolutions and this and that. They're already ready to start feeling healthy and feeling better again and again and again. So don't miss out on that. But if you have anything else you want to end this with, Nick, or anything you want to say?
Thanks for being on. And if nothing changes, if you
Yeah.
change nothing, nothing will change in your life, right? If you want to change your future, what do? You start making different decisions and you start taking different actions. So when I started this 8 years ago, it was one simple choice to take a chance on something I thought could potentially be really good. And guess what? It was that decision that I made to take a chance, to take some action that led to a completely different life. So if you don't make a change today, what will change in your future? What will change? Otherwise, we're just reliving the same day, the same month, the same year over and over and over again. So why not better your health and help people at the same time? And through that, build an income. So that's all I've got. Thanks for being on, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being on. We'll see you again next time. I appreciate you all. Get back to the person that invited you and get those questions answered. Don't let any more time slip by. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.